Okay, so we're going to start to set up the OTL just to be able to get all the passes to work. Okay, for the caches, so I'm going to select everything and press Shift C. So that's going to create a subnet with all my elements in there. And now I'm going to right click on it and do create digital asset. So I'm going to call this one, let's say explosion tool. Oops, no, lowercase explosion tool colon 1.0, and then here explosion tool. So we don't need any inputs, and again the directory where you want to save it. So default one, it's in new user directory. Okay, and I'm gonna put it inside my job directory, and I'm gonna call this one geo because it's at the geo level. It just makes it easier to for me. Oh no, you know what, I'm gonna not do that. I'm just gonna call it explosion tool because I'm gonna have one file but with two OTLs in the same file. Okay, instead of having too many different files, I'm gonna just store it inside the same. It's gonna make it easier to share later on if you want to share it with someone, and even for you. Okay, so accept and accept. Okay, so we get warning, so that's fine for now. Basic, first thing I'm gonna do, I want to change the icon because the default one is not really interesting. Okay, this one. I'm gonna go here to Paro, and I'm gonna right click on the second icon, second or third icon with the explosion, and I'm gonna edit tool. Okay, and I'm just gonna copy here the icon name, cancel and paste. And now we can already see here it changed the icon. It might not change it right away here. You might have to dive in and go back up like this to have the icon updated. Okay, so this being done, now I'm gonna add here a few things. So first I'm going to close those two groups and make them invisible because I don't want them to be here. Okay, those two, because again I don't need the transform values here because that's not the one that's going to be used at the end to be rendered. So I'm just gonna hide all this. Okay, so now it's blank. Oh, and one quick thing, I don't remember if I already showed it in one of the videos during this course, but if you want to be able to get this up here visible, you go to Windows, upper the type manager, if I'm not wrong, configuration, and operation type bar. I have display menu of all definitions. Okay, you can hide it, so it's like this, is completely hidden. Let me bring it back up. Or display current definition. Okay, this doesn't let you to change anything, it just shows you which one you use. And I'm keeping them all one because once you have other versions here, it just lets you to switch from one version to the other one. Okay, that was just to, I don't remember if I showed you this or not. Okay, back to our tool. So now I'm just gonna bring an integer here, and I'm gonna call this one frame range. So that's gonna be how many frames I'm gonna sim. Frame range. Okay, I'm gonna switch the range to, let's say 240, 1 is gonna be the minimum, and default I'm gonna put it 60. Really, that's gonna be up to you what default values you want to have in there. Okay, so same for the how many frames here. But yeah, you still want to lock the lower one at 1 frame, okay? Because that's gonna be the minimum. You want it to be able to sim. So next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add, if I go here to file geometry, and I'm gonna call this folder path. So that's the main folder where we're going to save every elements. Okay, so it's gonna create subfolders in there for every single layer. So fire is going to create a new folder for the fire. Then inside that fire one folder, for example, is going to create the display elements, the particle elements, and finally the sim itself. Okay, and I'm going to add another button here, and I'm going to call this one sim or run simulations. And for now, that's all we're gonna need. Okay, so one thing I'm gonna change here on the channels. I'm gonna switch this to $job. And again, that's because I'm having a Houdini directory in my always, and then geo. You could use, for example, if I go to my document directory here, to was Houdini 13, create a geo folder in there if it's, or wherever you have your default caches saved. So that's mine. And one last thing here that I want to double check. No, I think that's it. I was wondering if there was an option just to see if it's a directory or not, but that if I go there to accept. Yeah, now it's it's asking for, okay, so there must be an option. I'm not sure. I think there was an option just for it to have it as a directory. Maybe not. Let me just compare with the file one. Apply. File does the same. And if I go just to read only, no, that doesn't let me either. Okay, so I'm gonna check if there's a way to just tell it to open as directories. And if it's the case, if that's the case, so I will come back to it later, but for now we're just gonna have to put it in there manually. It's not such a big deal, but yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna accept. So now I'm gonna be able to use that parameter to set up the folders. Okay. So that's what we're going to do right away. First, I'm gonna grab that frame range. So copy parameter, and I'm gonna dive in my ROP network and paste copy derivative parameter here for in the second input for my frame range. Okay. So, and now let's set all these outputs caches. So first thing I want to change quickly here, it's to make it procedural, so I don't have to always edit it. I just do it once. I'm gonna use an up-digit expression. Okay, so up-digits, and it's gonna grab itself. So now that's gonna be 1. Okay, so that does it for me. So when I copy paste, it's gonna look for the next one. So if I do this now here, this one's gonna look for file 2. Okay, so that just makes my life easier. And I'm just gonna add one quick thing here. I'm gonna add a toggle, put it in here, and I'm gonna call this one sub steps, and then here save sub step. That's just if I want to save some sub steps. Okay, if I'm saving with sub steps and I want to store the sub steps as well inside my caches, it's just a small toggle that's gonna allow me to do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna update here. So I'm gonna do if ch, okay, for looking at my parameters. So I'm gonna go up here to substeps like this. So if substeps is equal to 0, then 1. Otherwise, if it's on, I'm gonna do 1 divided by before I do this, I need to add an extra okay, an extra 1. Sorry about that. I'm gonna set here as well. So I'm gonna rename this save. That should theoretically, if I do this update right here, yeah, it did update already the expression here. So that's good. So it doesn't give any errors. And now I'm gonna add here an integer, and this one's gonna be called substeps. Okay, sub steps, and on this one I'm gonna say how many substeps I have. So 1, 10, that's fine. I'm gonna put the default of 2, and I'm gonna just put here hide. So in my curly brackets here, I'm gonna hide it if save substeps is equal to 0. So if I do this and apply, and I turn this on, okay, it's just gonna hide my parameter. So I'm just gonna accept here, go back down here and finish my expression. So if is equal to, then 1 divided by the substeps value. Okay, so Now this one is going to be substeps. Okay, so 0.5, that's correct. Okay, and if I go now up here and I turn this one off, it should be at 1. Okay, that works. Now we're going to set the path here for our cache. So what I'm gonna do, oops, I'm gonna go up here, copy parameter, dive down here, base relative reference, and now in the backdates here, oops, I have one too much. I'm gonna put no, hold on, there. Now fire underscore backdates updigit. So we're looking at the node we are on, so only 1 point here. Slash, and we're going to call this just fire dot. And now here backdates again, and in here we're going to put $ff multiplied by 1 divided by ch f3. So this one is going to return with this value here. Okay, why I'm doing this is just to get the right number once I'm having substeps. Okay, because otherwise it's gonna get it's gonna error. Hold on, actually, this. It's not gonna write the proper frame number otherwise. So that's just to grab the right frame number, and FF, because it's instead of being an integer number, it's gonna be a float frame value. And now .bgeo. So now we have two choices. We could compress it like this, so it's gonna make a smaller cache on the hard drive. But doing this, we deleting the header inside our BGO file, and that header is going to be used by Mentra to kind of detect if a volume is inside the camera field of view or not. So, and if it's not going to load all the data. So we're going to save time at render time if we're using a BGO and we have volumes that are outside our field of view. But if we're compressing our caches like this, we don't have that header inside the file anymore. So Mentra is not going to be able to know what to load and what not to load. So it's going to load everything that's inside the cache. So it's a little bit of both. I mean, it's really going to be up to you what you prefer. If you want to save space on your hard drives because you don't have a lot of space, so yeah, then compress it. And if you have enough space and you really prefer to optimize your render times, so then don't compress it and just save it as a BGO. Okay, so you're gonna have to, it's one or the other. Unfortunately, you can't do both because the compression algorithm doesn't have any headers. We kind of have to choose. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to my Fire 1 node here, and I'm gonna set the paths here as well. Okay, so display to start with. So what I'm gonna do, if I right click and paste, yeah, so it was still in memory. And again, same. So here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call it fire underscore backdates updigits like this, then slash, and this one is going to be preview dot backtips, and same again, $ff multiplied by, and this one is going to be a little bit longer because we don't have that f3 here. So actually I don't want to write an if expression in here like I had before, so I'm gonna do really quickly. For now I'm just gonna put, that's just temporary, just because now I'm gonna go quickly in here and I'm gonna copy f3. Okay, so copy, I'm gonna go up here and paste relative. So that's what I want to grab now. And if I go here, just gonna save it here for now, and I'm gonna do save. Like this, and now here I'm gonna put up digits. I always have a doubt when it's to update a string, so let me just try this quickly. And I want to go, oops, get the parent. So what do we have here? Nothing right now. Okay, so this is not returning what I want. So okay, so that didn't work. So let's just do Alt E to open this window. So I can move the mouse on this one to see the result. Just expand it like this, and here. Let me try if I do add backdates in here. And it doesn't let, why is it not letting me update it? Okay. Oh, maybe. Okay. Alt E. Okay, for some reason it doesn't let me to put backdates in here. That's really weird. So unfortunately I'm gonna have to put back here. And I'm gonna check if that worked. Nope. I always forget how to update strings. So oh, maybe it's just plus actually. Could be just this. Yeah. Okay, and just to make sure that works, so if I go in here, and now I go here and turn that off. Oops. 0.5. Okay, this is not what I was hoping to get us value. I mean, that works, but there's something else here that doesn't work. Let me just go back quickly here. If I check this, okay, actually here, okay, that's fine. Oh, yeah, okay, this one. I'm just thinking, but this is actually not necessary, all this. I'm just gonna put $FF. I don't know why I initially did that. It's just not necessary at all. So, $FF is gonna be just fine. This, yeah, that's exactly what I want. Okay, I don't know why I initially changed this. Maybe a reason why I did it, but I don't see the point anymore to do that. So just keeping it simple. So just $FF. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go to this one, and I'm gonna copy on. This should be 2 zeros. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna copy this, paste it here. Don't need this anymore. And instead of preview, I'm gonna call this particles. So inside that that folder doesn't exist right now. Okay, so that's why it's erroring up here. But inside that directory, we're going to have like one cache that's going to be called particles. The other one is going to be called preview, and the last one is going to be called the same name. Okay. So I'm going to go here now, and I'm going to put a merge. So that's gonna, once I'm gonna plug them all, it's gonna sim them one after the other, okay? And I'm gonna go type properties on the script. And I'm gonna do two things. Here I'm gonna go uncreated, switch it to Python, and I'm gonna do write quirks. And here I'm gonna call the node one. So that's the node at the creation time. Okay, so it's this node when it gets created. That's the only way we have to code it. And then we're gonna do set color, and we're gonna give it a color, and like a kind of gray color. So who dot color and 0.2 and apply. So next time we're going to create one. Let me just create one quickly. So digital assets. Oh, get an error. So oh yeah, right, because who dot color needs a tuple. That's why. Let me get rid of this. Okay, now it's gray. Okay, and we're going to create here a Python module, and we're going to write the function in here saying def run all runs. No, just run sim node and now merge node is equal to node dot path. So we're getting the path of that node. Okay, so let me just make a string here. Format. And now if I dive in here, right click here, edit as path. It's not necessary actually. So here I'm going to do prop slash merge one and I'm actually going to rename this differently. Sim parm and who dot parm like this. So I'm gonna call a get access to a parameter here like this. I'm gonna show you why, and this is called execute. And now I should be able to do sim underscore palm dot press button. So let's try this. Apply. Okay. Parameters. Now I'm going to the run sim bottom. Callback script. I'm switching the type to Python and who dot HDA. Let me double check this one. I have it out really quick. So no, yeah. PWD. So get access to the itself, and then now HDA module. And we called it run sim, and we have a parameter, so it's looking for the node itself. So let's click quarks, and then node. So that should be working. So let's try it. So it should press this button for us. And let's see what's happening. So I'm getting an error. So takes one argument to given. Okay. Run sims. Okay. So why is this one erroring? So I have this one. That shouldn't change anything, but just wondering why. Okay, so I'm gonna do it differently. I'm gonna do like this. So PWD. Oops. And parameters. Should work though. I don't know why it's erroring. Again, hold on. Line 3. Oh. Actually, that might have been the error in the first place. Yeah, I think I need to, let me check if it's just this, maybe. There. Yeah, there we go, so that's working. Okay, I'm gonna interrupt this. Yeah, because the error was I was using capital P, so if I just go show you this, let me get this for you here. So we have here parm. Okay, so this one is gonna give us an existing parameter. Okay, and this one, it's the class. So there's a difference between the function, okay, calling a parameter, and the creation of a parameter. So that's the main difference. So that's why it didn't work, because I called the class instead of the function. Let's bring that back here. Okay. So yeah, that works. So that's fine. One quick thing I'm gonna change here at the same time. Under tools, yeah, under tools context, I'm gonna change tab submenu path instead of digital assets. So when I do tab here, it's stored right here in digital assets. I'm gonna create here and put it. Just check. Do I have already one here? No. So I'm just gonna call this one my tools. Apply. And now if I have here, I can see I have like a new menu here called my tools. It's personal. It's a personal choice, but I find it always annoying to have like this digital asset tab. And actually, I'm going to be more precise than this. I'm going to go with Pyro tools. Okay, I'm going to say copy this, accept, and I'm going to do the same. Actually, if I dive in here quickly, let me put this back to integer frames. And if I go to my top network and I go to my particle advection OTL, and I go to type properties, and I'm going to do the same here. Instead of digital asset, I'm going to save Pyro tools, accept. And now if I go tab, if I tab here, I have like Pyro tools, particle advection. Okay, we could find like another icon for this, so that's gonna be really up to you to find an icon. Usually what I do, I just go on Google and like if I go to, I don't know, particles, go to images, then more search tools, size, icon, then transparent background, and see if they have anything that could be interesting or helping me to figure out. Yeah, nope, that's not what I want. So particle yeah, so I mean sometimes this is too small, so yeah, I don't find any icon right here that I like. So, but yeah, up to you if you want to change the icon or not. I will do it later, most likely. This being done, okay, so that worked. So the next thing to do from this point on is going to be, let me just see where we at. So we did this, we've set those all up. Yeah, next one, we're going to, no, no, let's put this one green. And we're going to put the other layers. Yeah, of fire. We're gonna create fire 2 and 3. Once we're done with the fire, we're gonna go with the several dust, smoke layers, shockwave. Well, I'm looking for the word. Sorry. Fireball, the bits, trails. So it's gonna take a bit of time to set it all up, but it's gonna be worth it. So yeah, I'm just making a quick double check here to make sure we have everything we need at that point. We're going to add some other options later on OTL here, but this already allows us to start to work with it. And yeah, so let's go now see the two other fire layers.